absolutely beautiful Aquarian friends, and welcome to your horoscope for October of 2021. We're Aquarius this month. We have Mercury retrograde, but Mercury's coming out of retrograde. And in addition to Mercury coming out of retrograde, we've got all these other planets flying out of retrograde back to back to back this month, sandwiched in between two lunar events. Two of those planets are coming out of retrograde in your sign, so you are going to get a little energetic deep breath, which I'm sure you've been waiting for just a minute. And this also gives the opportunity here in October for worlds to start opening up to you. If it felt like doors of opportunity had been closing for like months, or I can't travel, when's the best time to travel, when's the best time to do this in October opens that door. And November is really when I think we can see things jumping a bit more, but this is definitely a prep month where you open the door to those energies to move forward. Now, if you don't want to hear a whole long old forecast, remember you can check out your October shorts, and those are at the beginning of the playlist for October of 2021 astrology. Okay, all right, for the rest of us, let's get in here. So right at the beginning of the month on the 6th, it is a busy, energetic day, and I would love for you to mark it on your calendars, please, because when we just have days where there are two events happening in the sky, we need to make note of that, because it does mean that energetically we might be a little bit more sensitive, or we may feel a bit more wiggly on those days, okay? So first of all, we've got a new moon happening at 13 degrees of Libra, lighting up your 9th house space. Now at the new moon, we are planting our seeds of intention to begin something new. Give this a fresh face, a fresh space, a fresh perspective. Take it in a different direction. This moon is in conjunction with Mars, but it is quincunx Uranus. So what that means for you in this 9th house space, which is publishing, marketing, broadcasting, foreign languages, international travel, immigration, the law, higher education, any of these things fall into this space. And I also like to include that this is a house of faith, because what you believe, the philosophies and the habits around those philosophies that you have in your life are governing you. So if you need some new philosophies in your space and in your life, or if your faith is broadening, widening, changing, you've shed some things, you've got Jupiter and Saturn in your sign, I'm sure, Aquarius, there's been some change. This gives you a great place to relook at the Libra balance and relationship in this particular house. Mars is going to make you motivated for this fresh start, but this Uranus quincunx can make it feel like you're not exactly sure of the value of how this is going to get done. And that is okay. That energy will pass. Just continue to take baby steps. And remember, October may not be the month that you get it all figured out. It just may not be the month, but it is the month that you can keep researching and stepping forward, okay? On the 6th as well, we've got Pluto stepping out of retrograde, so coming direct at 24 degrees of Capricorn. And this is, of course, just in your 12th house space, just right next door to you, right back there. Pluto's not new to being in the energy of Capricorn. It's been working here for quite some time. But as it's coming direct here in this 12th house space, the 12th house is the most quiet area of your chart. It's quiet, it's private, we rest, we retreat, we have our own bad ideas, thinkings, and behaviors that can cause our own undoing. But we also have a very nice spiritual container that's happening here. This is where we do the soul work, the spirit work, all of these things. Now, as Pluto has been working through your 12th house, Pluto says you have to phoenix, Aquarius. You have got to burn off and die off in one way so that you can live in another way. So the spiritual experiences that sometimes I think Aquarius have felt very Plutonian, scary, loaded with fear, loaded with uncomfortable, loaded with looking at your own lies and deception and delusions that you present to yourself, looking at where other people have done this. This is, the stories we've told ourselves about our past, right? These things I think Pluto has helped you sort out while it's been traveling through this 12th house space, but also these ideas of scarcity. I can't own my own business. How do I hold a job? How do I make this thing grow? Whatever it looks like in that 12th house space, I think Pluto's been turning you and transforming you here. And now that it's direct, you're going to demonstrate out on the world stage your new version of yourself, this transformed and evolved version of yourself. What have you learned? What have you come through? And now you can make that valuable, because Capricorn does want to know, what are you going to do to achieve, right? Now, on the 7th, we see Venus moving into the energy of Sagittarius all the way until November 5th. So this will light up the 11th house space. Now, Venus isn't attracting. It's a magnetic kind of energy. It's like, come here, you know. So in the 11th house, friends, social groups, social media, your long-range plans, goals, and designs, but it's a very social kind of energy. So Venus in Sagittarius, if you've got new life beliefs, Sagittarius, ninth house new moon that we just had, you could see that you're attracting new friends, or you're attracted to new groups of people. You have a new alignment and they feel good. They feel Venus, right? It feels good. I feel pleasurable. I feel like I can grow here. There's something good here. Now, the other thing I think Venus in the 11th house is really good for is if you've had conflicts at a social level or with friends, or, you've had words. Venus is going to act like this nice salve to help smooth things over, bring the harmony, bring the diplomacy to the table. So Venus will be in your favor in that way. On the 10th, we see Saturn coming out of retrograde in your sign at 6 degrees. Now, Saturn has been leveling you up. And if you haven't watched my video on Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter coming out of retrograde, I'll put a card, and there'll also be a video at the end of this video. Please check it out so you know exactly what you're working with and how to find the nuance of that, okay? So 6 degrees of Aquarius. Saturn has been leveling you up, bringing you to the next place. The places where you have really put in the work, it's bringing you accolades. The places where you've needed to grow, it has helped you grow, and there's been some doubt in there, potentially. Now, you could be having a lovely Saturn experience, and I absolutely hope that you are, but if you've been feeling doubtful, or you've been feeling like, this is a little hard, I'm being pushed, I'm being stretched, I just want you to know that it is absolutely normal. Stay with it, work with Saturn, not against it, and this is how you get to that maturity point and you grow. Now, Jupiter is coming out of retrograde on the 18th, but so is Mercury. So I want you to circle this day on your calendars as well, because this is a stationing day of 2 planets, which these are more challenging days because you really feel off, okay? Or you can, especially if you're energetically sensitive. Now, Jupiter coming out of retrograde will be at 22 degrees of Aquarius, so a little bit more advanced into your sign, but still in your sign. So as you've matured, as you've changed, as you've had this leveling up of maturity come your way, Jupiter is ready to help you expand out and take on different experiences. But these, again, come in a Jupiterian, 9th house, Sagittarian kind of feel. Your ideas have needed to change. You've needed to walk into some situations and have some experience, Aquarius, to gain the wisdom of how to take that out in the world. Now, I do think for some people too, as Jupiter and Saturn come out of retrograde in your sign, we can see transitions of families, right? So maybe, your parents are at a different place and now you're kind of the matriarch, patriarch of your household. This could absolutely be a changing of the guard, okay? Now, also we'll see Mercury coming out of retrograde at 10 degrees of Libra. So again, in that 9th house space. Now, if you needed to book that plane ticket, go travel home for the first time in forever, travel anywhere, have a conversation, legal disputes, sign a contract for higher education, these would be great dates and times to do it now that Mercury is out of retrograde. Now, if you needed to sign those contracts before, as long as they were in place and had already previously been started before September 6th, then I think you were in pretty good place to sign them even when Mercury was retrograde. And this is a better energy if things are new, you're making new decisions. Maybe you were researching before and now you can launch, okay? On the 20th, we've got a full moon happening at 27 degrees of Aries, so this will light up your 3rd house space. The full moon says that something has to be ended, acknowledged, or adjusted. We need to bring it to a close. We need to change the direction that we're going with it. And again, this is another influence of your mind, right? The 3rd house, your thinking, your communication, your understanding, your education. Maybe you're learning something new at this time and you're needing to Aries this. You need to initiate it. You need to initiate a healthier mind, new thought process. Write that book. Maybe you're finishing writing that book. This is also the 3rd house. I think about things like your website. If you needed to change or adjust a website or a contract. If you are buying a house, selling a house, buying a car, selling a car, and if you're like doing anything where you work in little parts, I'm thinking about watchmakers, jewelry makers, anything like that. This full moon may bring opportunities to culmination, but it may also bring nice opportunities to you as well, because Aries is a cardinal energy, so we like to start things under that energy. Now, as we close out the month, on the 23rd, we're going to see the sun move into the energy of Scorpio. On the 30th, we'll see Mars move into the energy of Scorpio. Both will be at the tip top of your chart, so lighting up the 10th house, the career. Now, the sun and Mars here bring light, heat, life, and vitality meets action. Okay, so the career zone is going to be jumping as we're heading into the November energy. You'll have the sun here all the way until November 21st, and you will have Mars here all the way until December 13th. So changes, or even the way that you're working in the world or at your job, and even if you're a stay-at-home person and you're not working, you're not employed, you're retired, there's a new energy about how you move and you are in the world. It's a really lovely energy, so I do hope that you take advantage of it. And also, if you need to fight for something, and this doesn't necessarily mean clonk somebody in their eyeballs, but if you need to push, you need to speak up, you need to investigate and dig to the deep and then go speak up for yourself in a work relationship. Mars is just as happy to have conflict as he is to get you motivated to get things done. But whatever you're doing, you're not doing it in a shallow way. You are asking those deep questions. Why? Why do I do this job? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I too afraid to stop doing what I'm doing? These become the scorpionic kind of questions, that you're going to be asking as you travel this next few weeks with this Mars and Sun energy, okay? All right, my beautiful Aquarians, I hope it's a gorgeous month for you. Please keep me posted down below. You've had Saturn and Jupiter in your sign for quite some time at this point. What's changing for you? Where do you feel like you're different? Let me know in the comment section down below, okay? All right, you guys, I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.